Hi, my name is Dilini Mohan. I'm an occupational therapist, a yoga instructor, and the owner of Thrive Mama, a wellness practice focused on pain and pelvic health. And today I'm here to talk to you a little bit about the pelvic floor. What is it? What does it do? Why is it important for us to pay attention to it? What are some common challenges related to our pelvic health, and what can we do about it? Let's get started. Our pelvic floor is a diamond-shaped group of muscles that sit between our legs at the base of our abdomen. They serve the purpose of supporting the weight and the structures within the pelvic cavity. From front to back, we have our bladder, which opens up through the urethra. In the middle is the uterus, opening up through the vagina, and at the back are our bowels opening up through the anus. So the pelvic floor not only supports and stabilizes the pelvic area, but it also is involved in allowing these three organ systems to work well. The openings are controlled not just by the organs themselves, but also by the tone of the pelvic floor. Our pelvic system is also involved in our circulation and our sexual health. It is involved in so many of the processes that we need to live healthy, full lives. Our core system is made up of our diaphragm at the top, which sits under our lungs at the base of our rib cage, abdominal muscles at the front, back muscles at our back, and at the bottom is our pelvic floor. It is a key component of our core system, and these muscles work together to distribute pressure evenly throughout our body. And we can see this happening as we breathe in. Our diaphragm contracts and pushes down, pelvic floor expands at the bottom, and as we breathe out, the pelvic floor contracts, pushing up, and the diaphragm settles up top. This system of distributing pressure is so important to understanding why we might be experiencing back pain, why we might be experiencing pressure either at our abdominals or our pelvic floor, maybe why there's different changes to our breathing patterns. We often don't think about our pelvic floor, but chances are if you've experienced any situation of stress, either physical or emotional, there's been some sort of change to how you carry yourself, to your alignment, and that can put pressure on your core system and your pelvic floor. So chances are if you have been pregnant or postpartum, if you've experienced an injury, if you experience chronic pain, if you experience challenges such as endometriosis or fibroids, any sort of mood-related challenge or persistent stress, chances are the pelvic floor has been involved physically in your reaction to that stressor. Sometimes we don't see the outcome of this for many, many years. Common challenges are incontinence or pee accidents, separation of the abdominal muscles in diastasis recti, low back pain or pelvic pain, or even prolapse where the organs aren't well supported by the pelvic floor anymore. Sometimes it takes years to build up to this, and it doesn't have to be an acute or an immediate response to a stress. Sometimes it just builds up over time. The good news is there's a lot we can do about it. For some, more invasive strategies such as surgery may be recommended for pelvic health challenges, but as an occupational therapist, I know that more conservative strategies are very effective for so many to not only manage the symptoms, but also eliminate so many of them. I always suggest starting with just understanding what's happening in your body. Where is that pressure imbalance? Where is it coming from? How can we understand how our body is reacting to the movements that we're putting it through and the stresses that we're experiencing in our life? From there, I suggest moving more intentionally into exercises and activities that allow you to reset the pressure within your core so that it isn't targeting one muscle group more than the other and causing that imbalance. And so strategies such as myofascial releases, such as hypopressive exercises and mindful movements can all be very effective in addressing this component of it. And finally, understanding and identifying what the emotional triggers are for you can go such a long way in seeing sustainable results. Because remember, the pelvic floor is connected to us physically, but it is very responsive to the stresses and the emotions that we experience day to day. So if we can identify and understand what those triggers are, then we can manage them well for sustainable long-term pelvic health. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions about pain or pelvic health, feel free to reach out. My contact is right here, and I'd be happy to assist in any way I can.